Today, BG4G takes a look at the indie horror title simply known as Breathing Fear. Let me set the scene for you. You're an escaped convict on your way to prison, and in your escape you stumble across this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere. Unbeknownst to you, you begin to unravel the mystery and the history of this house and the horror of what lied within. Your biggest enemy is not a monster, nor is it a psychotic killer. It is simply your mind and your heart rate. All kinds of creepy things happen throughout this house. None of them are jump scares, just subtle creepy things like a shadow in the distance or writing on the wall very quickly. It can catch you and your character off guard, thus increasing your heart rate. And if it dares go over tipping point, then my friend, that's game over for you. The game itself is simple to play, especially in handheld mode. For me personally, it's better in handheld mode than when it's connected to a TV. You're more close to the action, so to say. Even though the action is very minimalistic, you're still constantly on edge, and that is what this game does. It is a side-scroller, it is something from probably early 1990s, kind of like a platformer type game, however, just minus the jumps. The only action is to turn on and off your flashlight in order to save battery life. The sounds here in this game are sharp when necessary. For example, a cat runs past you, and it's like that. Now, in order for that sound effect, as well as many others, to be as sharp and as sudden as striking into you and your character, the rest of the environment is silent, or dead, if you will. In regards to voice acting, there pretty much isn't any. The most likely you will hear in terms of vocals is either your man groaning after having a heart attack, or the giggles of a deceased girl. Breathing Fear is not just a creep fest, it is actually also a nice little puzzler at the same time. Subtle puzzles, nothing too major, something like find the code to crack the safe, or find some batteries to refill your flashlight, simple things like that, but very vital in order for you to A, remain calm and not have a heart attack, and B, to advance through the game. Really, my only problem with this game is it tells you nothing. There is no indication on what you need to do next. It's all find out yourself, and it can be quite frustrating at times. So you're gonna have to have the will to power on through in the most frustrating of times. My only other gripe with this game is the longevity, which can be complete in under half an hour if you know the sequence in the right order, etc., as well as replayability. The only reason why you would want to go back to playing this game after beating it the first time is to try and beat your time the first time around. And now it's time to move on to my final verdict for Breathing Fear. A great little game which can send chills down your spine, but once you've experienced it once, you've experienced it 1,000 times. It can get very dull and tedious if you constantly fail, as well as being frustrating as well if you let it get to you. The idea is fantastic, where you have to fight against your anxiety and against your heart rate, but for me that's not enough. I think this game would have benefited if the house was more diverse, bigger, more of a country manor or a mansion with deep, darker secrets, more rooms to explore, more characters for you to get into. It's just lacking that extra bit more, and the whole replayability and the longevity of it doesn't help. So for my final score, Breathing Fear gets a total of 6.5. It's sad to say, but this game could be better. If you are interested, Breathing Fear is released on the Nintendo Switch on December 6th, 2019. However, if you can't wait that long, it is already available to purchase on Steam. I recommend it, but just don't expect too much from it. I would like to personally thank you for joining me here today. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to BG4G as well as BG4G Respawned, our secondary channel. It would mean a lot if you could like, share, as well as comment down below on your thoughts and feelings on Breathing Fear. Once again, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.